Everybody settle down. Chill for a second, man. Open it up for the late night. You know what I'm saying? Who's out here, man? It's your boy macmean. True story. All stories ain't true. But this one is. You know, I normally don't get upset by things I hear when people be saying things to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm human just like everybody else, you know? And after a while, you hear some of the same things, especially when it comes down to lies. You just like, after a while, it just gets distasteful. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it that way. So we talking about Queenzflip sends message about ALPO and people glorifying rats. I like my glasses to be perfect. What's up, Michael? Black in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Let's wait till we get a couple people up in here. Five guard. Cause I'm from the Bronx. When I pull up, they go. When I pull up, they say. That's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. When I pull up, they go. That's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. The shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Shit. It really don't matter what side. Cause everybody coming outside. So everybody hit the dance floor and do a slide. East Coast vibes, West Coast slow ride. Don't smoke both sides. Somebody gotta die. Just come through fly. Come through a good vibe. Let's have a good time. Shit. They never let us have a good time. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. But I feel like they go high. DSTV. What up, everybody? I definitely want to talk about this rat shit. You know what I'm saying? As you know what I mean? Definitely gonna talk about that. Can y'all hear that music though? Can y'all hear Five Guard music? Wow. This shit is heavy. Turn that fan on right there. When I pull up, they go. When I pull up, they say. That's the nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. When I pull up, they go. You know, I don't like liking somebody else's music, but this shit fire right here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When we get 10 people up in here, we gonna start. The rap started in the bar. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Shit. It really don't matter what side. Cause everybody coming outside. So everybody hit the dance floor and do a slide. East Coast vibes, West Coast slow ride. Don't smoke both sides. Somebody gotta die. Just come through fly. Do a good vibe. Let's have a good time. Shit. They never let us have a good time. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. When I pull up, they go high. When I pull up, they say. That's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. When I pull up, they go. That's a nigga from the Bronx. Where rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. All right. I want you to hear this real quick, man. Queenzflip, he said, "Why do we glorify rats?" I want to dissect through this conversation real quick.
Today I want to talk about why do we glorify rats? Now you may say to yourself, Flip, I don't glorify a rat. I don't say this about a rat. I don't like a rat. But at one point, you did. At one point, you did. King Erna even admitted to liking Alpo in the movie until he heard that he told. Why do we glorify rats? I want to get to the mind of us as people. Why?
I'm pretty sure Queenzflip is asking himself the same exact question. Why is because you was one of the first people to start really, blogging that was talking about Alpo. Let's keep it 100.
Why do we think and we put this type of some of these people who tell snitches, rats that we call them, why we put them on a pedestal? What would you do if you was offered 50 years to life? And all you had to do was tell somebody. Have you ever been in that position? A lot of people have, and they stood tall and they took it to trial. A lot of people haven't. I'm not here to talk about who is who and what is what. But
yes, you are.
I'm here to talk about is that people who tell they get glorified because before they told, the thing led up to them being this martyr was so magnificent.
It looked like it's going to be a slow night, so I'm going to open up the panel. It look like just the people's going to be up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's late, so the algorithm, you know what I mean? Maybe low. Who knows? Or maybe because we're not talking about Whack 100 and Hassan Campbell. I kick knowledge. All right, so being that we got all familiar faces up in here, let's open it up. You know what I'm saying? I can keep my Mars busy on the motherfucking panel instead of just being in the field for no reason. All right, let's pull up.
Listen, was so like, wow. Let's talk about it.
Now, Michael, you are hot. So you keep your ass in, shoot whoever you want, do whatever you want down there, but don't, you hot. As soon as you pull up here, that 11 is going to turn to 110.
Saw Frank Lucas movie. They said Frank Lucas told. I'm not sure if he did. They said Frank Lucas told. Denzel did a hell of a job. How? Denzel playing Frank Lucas was amazing.
Facts. Yeah, Denzel played Frank Lucas, bro.
Denzel playing Frank Lucas, like, whoa, wow.
And yeah, that's a good point. Frank Lucas, you know what I'm saying, was a whole rat, but we love that nigga Denzel in the movie, huh?
Nicky Barnes was on the cover of the magazine. Mr. Untouchable. Hold on. Let me get to it. Nicky Barnes was on the cover of the New York Times magazine. Huh? Mr. Untouchable.
After he's done, I'm gonna tell y'all why this is so. This conversation right here is so interesting to me.
Tell the people who told.
I see a lot of people ain't. Let me just let this man talk. He literally gonna talk for 8 minutes, and then I'm gonna tell y'all some shit, and I'm gonna let you hear one other thing that's like 3 minutes long.
Alpo had one of the best movies made about him. Not particularly about him, but about that whole situation.
Facts.
AZ, who admit that he told on the guy that shot him, he admitted.
Niggas love Cam and they love AZ in that movie. And for y'all that don't know who I'm talking about what they call them, Rico and Mitch, you know what I'm saying? And all, you feel me?
Because of his reason, we liked A in the movie Paid in Full. Sammy the Bull, the thing is, a lot of people glorify these things because in our community, the story of you coming out and being able to get money fast and the cars, the women, and the gangster roles is.
My question is why niggas that don't do crime? Because Queenzflip, I think his mother is either a judge or a cop or something like that, right? But why the niggas that don't do crime, niggas that's not in the street, why does it matter to them so much who ratted? That's
is we like it. Don't lie. We like it. Of course, we don't like the telling. We don't like the telling, but can you relate? Can you relate and say, yo, I've been in a position where I didn't tell me that I took a responsibility on my own. I've been in that position. Have you been in that position? I used to watch all these movies. Let me just talk because you're going to say, yo, Flip, what about you, Flip? You were entertained. You were talking to Alpo. I was. Because
okay, I just said that too. And I feel like this is the reason why he's even talking about it.
I watch a lot of famous people or interviewers talk to all type of serial killers. They talk.
That's a fact.
To them and they laugh at them and they speak to them and I watch them talk. I said, oh wow, they talking. Look at them talking about them or talking to them. It was amazing. And they confessing and everything. They got it from the horse's mouth. That's how I looked at it. But then I also had to, when Webb, my cousin Webb came home and Nitty and all that, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget how you was raised. And I had to explain, because when I saw Webb in Atlanta, I was put in a position I had to explain to my older cousin, like, it's all.
You know what I never understood? All sidebar. I never understood how could somebody, like, how you got you ever seen that movie, Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood? Remember that part where the dude was like, the pro-black dude was like, excuse me, can you please tap that white woman for me?
Or, understanding or getting an understanding of something. I'm a meteorologist. And people from the streets don't like that. Meteorologist, media,
knowledge corn is back on me, y'all. Pause.
We don't want you talking to no rat. But that's just.
He got two ugly ass bitches up on his joint, right? That got rejected on every panel, every platform. Yup, naked pictures is floating around the internet, but yet you want to get up on the internet on a nigga panel and talk about I look sick and I'm smoking crack and all type of crazy shit. Y'all are so perverted in your minds. Same motherfuckers living in dirty ass crib. It would be so amazing to me. And I don't understand. Can you please tap that white woman for me? Niggas are so pro-black, man. Can't wait to put your face in some white pussy. You dirty son of a bitch. How dare you be a fake racist? How dare you be a fake ass racist? You know what I'm saying? You like that nigga from I'm gonna get you sucker. Remember the nigga, Bean Pie, my brother, Bean Pie? You know what I'm saying? His white wife had the extensions in her hair. You know what I'm saying? His little white son had the afro and shit. He said, what do you see? Matter of fact, you're gonna make me go get that skit right now. I'm gonna go get that skit right now. I'm gonna remind you who you are, nigga. Okay? You always talk about how I look, and now you got them two ugly ass bitches. The news flash. Who got more women on their chat than, you know what I'm saying, macmean? But macmean. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, what the fuck you doing is looking in the mirror and looking at your ugly ass own self. You know what I'm saying? Always judging a man on how they look. Because you ugly as fuck.
You have 3 translations.
You got ugly as fuck. And I never been the type, I look at people's personality, but you are a dark, nasty son of a bitch. And you're a coward because you won't even let me come up on your platform. You are a coward. I taught you everything you know. Yeah, you try to use that shit against me. Why? Because your wife decided to hit me up on the phone, nigga. You should be glad I'm not like the rest of these savages and use and abuse that female. You know what I'm saying? Okay? That's all I'm gonna give to you, you fucking puto. But remember this. The guy from I'm gonna get you sucker. this nigga. It was the same nigga that it was the same nigga that said the shits you will be knee deep in the shits. That's who you are, you fucking piece of shit. I never had a girl tell me I was ugly ever in my life. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? And then when I look at you with your nasty looking body, because I've seen the pictures of you already, you know what I'm saying? With your nasty, stinking ass body, my baby mamas will fucking run you out the borough they in, or whatever state they in. You are some nasty. You like one of them chicks that when you know what I mean, make yourself all up and then go to your house and you got a ring around your tub. Or you got some nasty ass panties sitting around with some shit crawling up in the drawers and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a super clean type of nigga. You know what I mean? Like I like clean fingernails and stuff like that. I look at teeth. I'm hate me an ugly ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Some ugly ass bitches. Then spread your legs all over this YouTube streets for fucking 2, 3, 4 years out here and got the nerve to get up on some nobody ass nigga platform and talk about me. You know what I'm saying? You fake ass racist. Have some self-respect and be a real racist. You know what I'm saying? Don't go marry you know what I'm saying? The people you hate. I don't hate white people. I love all people. That's why I became Muslim, because it was, you know, it was like, okay, you can't be racist. All right, I'm in. Look at this. This is you, motherfucker. Refried beans, string beans, old-fashioned beans. It says garbage beans.
Else.
Oh, the kids is funny. Yo! That's this nigga wife. You mad because you caught that bitch on the phone with me? I'm gonna make you keep killing your channel, bro. I'm glad nobody's here. I'm glad. Y'all talk shit about your ass. I know you watching, you ugly piece of shit. You's an ugly motherfucker. So is your wife. She ugly just like you, bro. And God made a perfect match with you motherfuckers. This is y'all right here. Newsflash, you married a racist. Probably the type of bitch to wear cornrows in your hair and call a nigga nigga. This bitch tried to do it. She tried to do the handshake just now. This bitch is trying to bust out. What? Your pancake ass. Look, yo, this is good. Yo, real talk. Fuck them people. This is good comedy. It says Pan-African Film Series. Look at the kids. This shit is classic. Puñeta. Oh my God, this shit is funny as fuck. Yo, look at the kids. Oh, little puteritos. Yo, watch the little nigga right here. And look at the wife. Yo. She got elephant bone on her shit. That's how this nigga wife is. Bitch gonna call me talking about, you know, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys. I love you guys, especially you, Mac. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I said, bitch, please. I met 1,000 of you. You know what I'm saying? You like the other. Hey, listen, classic TV.
Okay. Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin in Illinois. This poor white trash.
Yo, look at the black dude face. When he say po white trash. Yo, this po white trash.
Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin in Illinois. This poor white trash. This poor white trash. Illinois. This poor white trash. Illinois.
Yo, look how he put that. Look how he put that heart into this po.
This poor white trash.
Yo, one more time, man. Come on, look at his face. Yeah.
White trash would only become the president of the United States. One thing
He said yes.
is this white capitalist swine.
This white capitalist swine. Swine! Oh, shit. Y'all don't know macmean, bro. Yo, he had this bitch say I look like a fucking crackhead. And yo fucking girl look like the state puff. Okay? Excuse me. Hold on, putos. I gotta kick one of the fake macmeans out of here. Fuck it, he can stay. He's a puto. This shit funny as fuck. Stop playing on me.
Poor white trash would only become
Uh-oh, something gotta go. Let me remove that one first. Oh, okay. All right, we back. Can y'all hear me? Can you putos hear me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? This poor white trash. Yes. 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 Hierophant. Yes. This is Hierophant, y'all. Jesus. His son name is Whitey. Yeah. Yeah, I might as well finish roasting these motherfuckers. Give me a second, though. Five got something to say. When I pull up, they go. When I pull up, they go. When I pull up, they say. When I pull up, they say. That's the nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. When I pull up, they go. That's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. Shit. It really don't matter what side. Cause everybody coming outside. So everybody hit the dance floor and do a slide. East Coast vibes. West Coast slow ride. No smoke, no sign. Somebody gotta die. Just come through fly. Come through a good time. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. When I pull a finger, when I pull a finger, that's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. When I pull a finger, that's a nigga from the Bronx. Where rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. When I pull a finger, 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 that's the nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. When I pull a finger, that's a nigga from the Bronx. The rap started in the park. This shit went worldwide. Now everybody outside. Pick a side. Pick a side. Shit. It really don't matter what side. Cause everybody coming outside. So everybody hit the dance floor and do a slide. East Coast vibes. West Coast slow ride. On the slow both sides. Somebody gotta die. Just come through fly. Come through a good vibe. Let's have a good time. Shit. They never let us have a good time. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. Full fighter when the bullets start to fly. When I pull a finger, when I pull a finger. Act like I gotta go chained up, Honcho. Hot boy fresh. Oh shit.
Feel away and you taking pictures. That whole picture should be very. Now hold on. I asked that in the interview. Was Poe a strategic man? Same thing as far as we talked about dementia when we just said like rocking the sleep. So you gotta know that niggas is going to talk and when they see you and feel away and you taking pictures. That whole picture should fuck me up. You put your arm around niggas taking pictures. What the fuck you doing? Why you doing that? If a nigga talk, let him talk.
Like why am I playing this? Because you're saying why is people so amazed by rats? You was the first person on social. Like really on this type of blogger shit that was bringing out these. I mean, well, Troy Reed did it. A lot of other people did their little version of it, but we know what I'm talking about. Right?
Who's scared? Why did that fuck you up? Why? Yo, Pop, watch your mouth, nigga. Why? I'm gonna tell you why it fucked me up. It fucked me up because it's more like you hear all these.
Why you think Poe why do y'all think that Poe put paparazzi Poe up under his wing? If a lot of people say that really wasn't his son, why do y'all think he did that? Think he just had love for him, you know what I'm saying? Or what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Poe had real sons, so I don't understand. I want to know what y'all think about that. What do y'all think? Because I don't know much about paparazzi Poe. Why do y'all think that ALPO put him up under the wing like that, even though so many people said that wasn't his real father?
This nigga got a lot of balls to do that. Who the fuck doing that? Because the story become okay. I'm gonna keep it 100. The story become contradictory. So like now it's like, yo, we see that nigga, you know, that nigga, you know, he did this and he did that. We ain't fuck with that nigga, but then he's around Harlem taking pictures with niggas and walking around. So it fucks up your mind. Like, what the fuck? Right. But you know that he'll do that. That's why you're doing it. You're strategic, nigga. Give yourself more credit than you get.
That very thing is how he got smoked, though. making itself available, yo. I will call that a warning. Let's listen to that part again.
Yo, we see that nigga. You know, that nigga, you know, he did this and he did that. We ain't fuck with that nigga. But then he's around Harlem taking pictures with niggas and walking around. So it fucked up your mind. Like, what the fuck? Right. But you know that he'll do that. That's why you're doing it. You're strategic, nigga. Give yourself more credit than you give yourself. You know what the fuck.
Not strategic. I wouldn't call it strategic if you know you're playing with death.
That didn't just stumble across your lap.
It just goes to show that niggas is talking. Because let me tell you something. Niggas my age, you know what they concerned with? Do they got any underlying issues for the coronavirus? That's what they worry about. They ain't worried about me. The ones
He said niggas my age is worried about the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But from what I heard, allegedly, it was a young boy that smoked.
They worry about their health issues. They worry about trying to hold on to the little bag that they got. And that's what they worry about. It'll be some old in me.
You gotta remember some of these dinosaurs from back in the days, some of the niggas that they killed got grandkids that's running the streets right now. You know what I'm saying? You never know how a person's family spawns out and reproduces itself while you locked down for 30 years. You never know what's going on out there. Some people's memories is sharper than others.
Not the one bumping the gun, but giving the gun to the young nigga to do it.
Nah, I got it.
Because anybody my age don't got no opinion. If everybody you see on the internet and Facebook, they weren't even there. They're not even old enough.
He basically saying the old motherfuckers that's talking about him, you know what I'm saying, they ain't nobody because they wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But again, it wasn't allegedly a young boy, an old nigga that killed him. It was a young nigga that crept up on him.
Facts. Yeah. They wasn't even in Harlem. 90% of people got something, they somewhere else. I drive right around in Harlem and not even get a bullet thrown at me, let alone shot at me.
Now I played that for a reason because of what he said right here.
To me, they respected me as a man. I wasn't doing anything. They was, you know what I mean? But we glorify these things because the story, the Cinderella story.
And I'm not saying that Queenzflip is saying anything wrong because we're on the same page. It's just I wonder why, you know what I'm saying? Why would you ask a question like that when you already know what the answer is?
Story. The story where you're able to get money, cars, women. That's what we like. I don't think we like the person that told. I think we like the idea of the person. ALPO was going into Harlem, putting his arms and taking pictures. They said, oh, he's wilding. He liked that attention. Nicky Bone.
Now that conversation I played for y'all right before this, that was a year before this.
You know, I think he passed away a couple of years ago, but he did a documentary when he wasn't supposed to. Frank Lucas had Denzel Washington playing. These people are put on the pedestal. So do we like the person or we like the action? Pay attention, don't get mad at me. Do we like the person? I mean, of course, certain makeup of the person, their style, their charisma, their character, don't make us like them.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Queenzflip was the first nigga to get them everybody. A lot of people mad at Queenzflip because, you know, they say he spawned the YouTube blood shit. That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? They also say you sparked the ALPO stuff. That's what they say. They say a couple other things too, but they say so much shit that I ran out of ink.
Like, I like he's funny. We'll like that. But do we like the person or we like the action?
Andrew
how
salute.
They got there, what they stood for, that dream that
Andrew, salute. Black in the moment, always on deck. Salute, bro. TSTV, Duck Deuce. You already know. Dub Hunchivity. You know what I'm saying? Michael, you already know. Everybody. You don't know.
All of us want to do or be when we are kids. The peer pressure of being the flyers, the peer pressure of getting the money, the peer pressure of getting all the honeys, the peer pressure.
I think everything that this nigga's saying is 100.
In 16, 15, having cars, Saabs, Benzes off the lot. What do we like? Now, I don't know why anybody likes Sammy the Bull. I'm just with Sammy the Bull. I'm just saying, like, I mean, seeing him, I mean, he was putting a lot of work in. I mean, in our minds, psychologically, our environment plays off on the fact that murder, death, kill is something that fascinates people. When somebody puts in work, it's this fear that's bestowed upon us, like, oh, he put work in, don't play with him. And there's other people that want to challenge that for whatever reason they may know. They want to challenge that to show and get their own respect, because the gangster would say, there was this one guy that stood up next to me and stood tall, and he brought it to me. You know, the name becomes with the street Hall of Fame.
Oh, talk.
The Street Hall of Fame. Pay attention. OG Mac, they said he told before.
Ooh.
They said OG Mac told. And he was the reason that the blood started in New York.
But you gotta ask yourself, what was your, Flip's fascination with the Bloods too? I think that, you know what I mean? Like, you should ask that question too. You see what you spawn, big dog.
They said he told before. I think he tried to recant it. I don't know, but he was the reason it started in New York. So, do they take it from him, or because of this big thing that he started that spilled over into the whole world? New York, I mean, not the world, because the blood was in New York, and so much divisions and factions and different things. Does he still get the respect that he has? Or honestly, when you say, or can you say, when you're labeled as a snitch or a rat, all your respect goes out the window? Do you really feel that way? Can you have a conversation with a snitch? Can you have dinner with a snitch? Can you talk to a snitch? A lot of us put these things in our mind, but a lot of our loved ones became rats. A lot of our loved ones are accused of snitching. And did you change how you felt about them? Let that sit in your heart. It's easy to jump on a bandwagon because in society, snitching is wrong. You do the crime, you do the time, you go home. If you're in there for life, you stand up like a man and your name goes down and etched into history.
Peace, Steve.
But when it's your brother,
What's up, bro?
How you feeling?
Hanging in there, my good brother. What's going on?
Chilling, kicking some issues around, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Talk. For real. What's up with it?
Hold on. How to get rid of the echo.
I don't hear echo.
Okay, it was on my end. But yeah, so you got a good subject going on tonight, man.
Yeah, what do you think about that? You like my Uncle Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Hey,
No doubt.
what do you think? Why do you think that people that's not involved with crime get so like caught up in who's a rat and who's, you know what I'm saying? Like what's their fascination with this shit?
It's just the tone that the streets set from jump. It affects people that are in the streets and that are not. Like, everybody is with this no snitching. You're never supposed to snitch. You can't deal with the snitch XYZ. Granted. And most of the people in the hood who's never, the ones that are in the street and the ones who are not, they feel the same way. And I think it comes from the culture, the movies that we watch. Even if we're in the street or we're not, we're squares. We watch the same movies. We watch the gangster movies. We listen to the same music. So subconsciously, it's like how you say, sewn into the fabric of our consciousness. So that's why.
Yeah, but you got like guys that never like you. This is what I understand. Like, how did they? It's like, oh yeah, you're right. It's embedded into our society now because you might be at a regular job doing some regular shit. You know what I'm saying? And dudes might know about some street shit that got something to do with some rat and shit, and they'll be completely fascinated about that shit.
Indeed. But when it comes to ALPO and me, my thing is this: I did a few videos on Poe, and I caught a lot of flashback. I mean, dudes calling me 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Yo, that dude was a rat. He was a piece of this. He was a piece of that. I'm like, dude, huh?
He still was human. He still was a human being.
Exactly. See, this is what people forget. You know what I mean? Like, we're not forgiving, but I believe everybody deserves a second chance. You know what I mean? When he came home, we never got to see just exactly what that poll was all about. We never got to see him go to the places he wanted to go because he was dealing with the backlash every other week. Yeah,
O was home for a while.
yeah, but he still was dealing with these dudes. Can you imagine living like that? Every corner you turn, somebody, yo, that nigga's a rat, and that's what provoked him to start stepping to these cats. You know what I mean?
Well, he knew that before he came home what it was going to be. But you got to think about it like this: he could have stayed low, but he decided to go to Harlem and Florida.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's like you. I look at both ends, right? On one end, yeah, he should have. Like I believe this, like because at the time that if a nigga do his time, he should be able to come home and get a second chance, right?
That's right.
When you at the magnitude of him, it's not about, for me, it's not about you being a rat. For me, it's about the killing and the glorifying of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, cool. That's just cup of tea. When you get home, and you know what I'm saying, they got you in witness protection. Some niggas can't stay away from the limelight. You feel me? He had to be seen. He had to be seen.
Yeah, all that's true. All that's true.
And that right there, that's an attribute of the devil, man. When that pride, when your pride, for me, that's the clearest manifestation of the devil when I meet people, is when your pride is so big where you can't even like get past the issue. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he kind of set himself up for it. You feel me?
But then also, macmean, just think about it, bro. Like, was that man supposed to come home and do a 9 to 5? Like, this was a boss, a kingpin. The money he was getting was ridiculous. Can you imagine him working in Kmart or something like that? Like he said, I used to make $1 million in a week. Every week I used to make that. There's 52 weeks in a year. Now, how long of a run did he have? You see what I'm saying? And then when he went to Washington, that's probably where it even got a little bit bigger. Who knows?
El Capono, what's up, little bro? Misunderstood, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Blackout TSTV, man. That stands for True Story TV. If you don't know, you don't know. You want to get down with the set. We not like the Bloods or the Crips. You know what I'm saying? But we do roll like the mob. You feel me? Put that in your name, TSTV. Dop, I see you just pulled up. Mike, everybody's up in the building. You know what I'm saying? My boy Steve is here. Always a pleasure for Steve to pull up and drop some gems on us. So let me ask you something, right? Because I believe I have the ability to like stay neutral things sometimes and really digest what somebody's saying. What do you think that ultimately, like, even for the people that got your message twisted, what are you ultimately saying about ALPO?
I'm saying about ALPO, and I hope the people listening that were calling me 3 o'clock in the morning with these threatening messages, man. I'm saying about ALPO, he was a regular human being like every one of us. We all made mistakes in the past. The streets have poisoned all of us in the past and made us do things that weren't correct. Maybe he went a little too far. Do I think that the man was like a serial killer or anything like that? The answer is absolutely not. He was a human being.
You don't think so? You don't think that? How many bodies did he have?
It's on record 14 he copped out to, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think, I would think, right, that after the third body, because I know some niggas that caught a lot of bodies, you know what I'm saying? Like my man Barney's locked up for murder right now. He's known for, like, he's like that. He's like I come from that shit. I see men like that be developed right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? I seen niggas that go from being good kids to straight murderers right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas surprising. You know what I mean? Dudes, I've been up and I'll be walking through a mess hall and shit, and then I'll see a nigga I ain't seen in 10 years, and he up in there for a murder. And this nigga, sweetest nigga you could ever meet.
Yep.
Yeah. But doesn't mean that motherfucker won't turn and kill you. A nigga that killed 14 times. You gotta think about that for a second, right? It's hard for people to commit the first one. You know what I mean? Like to get past the first one. Some people kill like mentally fuck themselves up. Be seeing demons, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just from catching the one.
That's true.
A nigga that catch that one and he still got that taste of blood in his mouth, and he go for number 2 and he go for number 3, and he justified being business or money or something like that, to me, I don't trust that nigga.
No, you see, that's the thing. You can't trust him when it comes to business. Let me tell you, what Alpo was is a dude that got a taste of that real money, not the money these dudes are getting out here now in this drug game, unless you're the cartel. He got a taste of that real 80s money. He came from the east side of Manhattan. He had nothing. He came from poverty. And when he got a taste of that money, Alpo said, anything come between me and this bread, I'm eliminating it. Period.
Okay.
You know
So
what I
let me
mean?
ask you something. All right, cool.
Mhm.
I'm gonna counterbalance that. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, and I'm gonna say, okay, let's say that you go on with the angle that he did. You know what I mean? It was business transactions. But what about when he killed old boy over that chick and then gave the money to the nigga that set it up for him? That wasn't about money. That was about ego. To me, Alpo was a fucking psychopath, a sociopath. A sociopath. You wanna know why? Because look, I've been around niggas that's just as worse as he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna tell you one thing about all these motherfuckers. Like my man Barney, he's like that. He could walk you into a straight trap. Now, mind you, I never felt no danger coming from this nigga because I was like his little man, and I seen a lot of shit that I shouldn't have to see. You know what I'm saying? Young, but I could tell you this one thing: that nigga was identical to Alpo. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if it would have suited him right, you know what I'm saying? If at the wrong time, I would have been a fucking floating body too. You know what I'm saying? When you get next to a nigga like that, when you go against their narrative, when you go against what they want happening, that's when you on the plate. It has nothing to do with money.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it could be correct, but I tend to still stick to the same story because the one thing I noticed about him when he gave an interview, like anytime they asked him when he was in jail, why did you kill this guy? Why did you kill this guy? He always had like a reason, right? There seems like a sound reason. Well, I killed, like he said, Rich Porter. He said, Rich lied to me about something I felt he didn't need to lie to me about. And this was over the keys, Rich selling him the keys for a price that was over and above.
I
You
was
know
with
what I mean?
a Muslim brother in Attica, right, in the mess hall block.
Mm-hmm.
He killed his grandmother, his mother, and his mother's boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this motherfucker right here did the same thing. He told me the reason why he did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Mhm.
tell you something. I could conjure up any fucking reason to kill somebody if I'm a psychopath or I'm a sociopath. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. But it doesn't matter what. Let me explain something to you too. Killers, a lot of killers that I met, right, is
Mhm.
real calculated and smart. They really real smart and know how to mimic and emulate human emotions. You know what I'm saying? So meaning that where let's say you seen something that will make you want to cry. You feel me? And 99% of the people's like that. 99 point. A sociopath in the back of his mind wants to laugh sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And but they will cry because that they can see what you're doing, and so they'll emulate that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So a motherfucker that every killer I ever met was some smart, calculated motherfucker that I didn't trust. I didn't, you know what? And even if I was the best Christian in the world, known to fucking like turn the other cheek and forgive everybody, right? I still wouldn't be able to understand or like that sort of individual. You know what I'm saying? Like for
Yeah.
real. You know what
Well,
I mean? And I
yeah.
know killers that I trust with my life,
Mhm.
but not that type of this difference. Joe Pesci, why did they put him down in the movie? Remember?
I don't really remember. It was a long time ago since I saw that. Was that good? That was Goodfellas?
They put him down because he was a wild dog.
Mhm.
They put him
Mhm.
down. They killed him and his brother. His brother didn't even have shit to do with it. They put him down.
Okay,
Because
so let's look at it like this too, MacMean. Now, when Alpo came home, did he continue on a killing spree? You see what
now
I'm
look,
saying?
allegedly, according to Hassan Campbell, he killed 2 niggas since he was home.
I think Hassan Campbell's the only one that's saying that. I haven't heard that in the street from anybody
I never
anywhere.
heard it. I don't believe it, but I'm just
I,
telling you.
I, I heard it. One thing I heard that Gully TV said. He said after Alpo died, he said I was talking with Alpo and I asked him about the incident.
You ever been around a killer like in person?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
of course.
okay. I'm talking about like a killer that got convicted for murking niggas.
Yes. Oh
I ain't
yeah.
talking about that mistake nigga. The nigga
No,
that
no, no, no. I believe me. I grew up in Far Rockaway, man. Edgeman
okay.
Projects. Yes,
All right.
indeed.
So have you ever had a grown conversation with a killer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Yep.
what was the question then like? What did you ask him about?
Never talked about it. I never talked about the deeds that they did. You know,
No, but I understand. What was your gauge on the person?
um, at the time, I was so used to people getting killed where I live. It was like it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I heard of a person getting killed in my project, I was 14 and a half, 15 years old.
Stop right
And,
there. Now let me
uh-huh.
explain something to you about that shit. Right, 14. That's not normal. You feel
No,
what
it's
I'm
not. It's
Now
not.
for me, look. For me, it was the same thing. Even younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. So yeah, like the one you got the one side of me that's like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? And you got the other side of me that, boom, I had 20 years. You know what I'm saying? If somebody didn't forgive me, I would never came home. I would never had the opportunities that I got if somebody didn't take a chance with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand, my mind state and my frame of mind and the things I actually did was different than what that nigga did. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I would had the crimes that he had and I came to the same people, they might have looked at me different. And rightfully so, because you got to think, this is your friends that you killed, nigga. These
Mm-hmm.
niggas you knew. Oh, nah, fuck that nigga.
But hold on now. Look at this, macmean. Number two, we got to be in all fairness now. Him and Rich Porter didn't come out of the sandbox.
Hold up a second. Hold up a second, bro. I'll
Mm-hmm.
keep at the. I fucks with you. I know your name, but you in timeout. Okay? Go ahead.
So you got to remember, him and Rich Porter, blessed dead, they didn't grow up in the sandbox. They got money in the streets together after Alpo was grown, after they both grown. That's not sandbox, guys. There's a difference there.
Let's still stop. Okay, check it out. We not sandbox, but let me explain something. If I knew you for a month and me and you was getting money, it would be safe to say that, you know what I'm saying, I fucks with you, right?
That's what that. Yeah.
All
But
right.
now look, but look at this, macmean. Now look. You remember, you in the game, brother. You in the game. This is the drug game.
I played the game. I've seen millions of dollars in fucking drug money and shit like that. I've seen
But now, but if me and you are mans, right? We mans, and we really good. You know, we getting money together. We don't crack. We don't shit on each other. But you see the connect, and the connect say, "Yo, man, here go these things. Give them you and Steve do what y'all do at this set price here." And instead of telling me,
we don't even know if that's true.
but we don't know if we can't say it's false because neither one of them here.
We could at least balance it and say this, right? That the popular opinion in Harlem was that Rich was a good nigga and Rich didn't get down like that. So we could look at both. We could look at what Alpo said. You know what I'm saying? Alpo said that he got fronted these bricks and then he did whatever he did. You know what I'm saying? Like in our world, let's think about it, right? In the logical thinking world, fuck the drug world. Let's talk about the man's world. In the man's world, boom. If you doing your thing on the east side and I'm doing my thing on the west side, then you doing your thing on the east side and I'm doing my thing on the west side. Like you said, we're not sandbox niggas. So if I'm busting moves and doing my thing, that's me. You know what I'm saying? You feel where I'm coming from? Point blank, period. So and then I don't know if what Alpo said. Alpo could have just said that shit, you know what I'm saying, to justify the reason why he smoked the nigga. He might have just wanted it.
But
He might want it.
But on the other hand, it could have been true. We don't know, and this is why I wish he would have been able to stick around so he could have got the chance to tell his story, and we could have got some insight.
And I'm more likely to believe the guy that got the good reputation for looking out, showing love, you know what I'm saying, not disrespecting niggas. Alpo was recording bitches getting fucked by dogs, being tied up.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, that was weird.
Nah, it's worse shit than that. I know bitches that fucked with Poe. I know shit that I would never repeat up on this shit because the man is dead. You know what I'm saying? But I think this, right? In order for me to be fair, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some killers. I know some niggas that got. There might be a dude that got just as many bodies as he has. And you might trust him. You know what I'm saying? But because the story behind why he killed might be important, like what you're telling me with Alpo. But to me, there's too many friends in that list that you put down.
Yeah. But now when we go to the serial killer, macmean, now I want you to pay attention to this. Just please try to understand this right here. I want you to look at documentaries of serial killers, right? When a serial killer, they say, yo, why did you do this? Why did you kill this person? Why did you kill this person? The true serial killer who has a problem, He always says, I can't explain it. It's just something about when I see the blood gushing, it gives me a rush of energy. I can't really give you a
Right.
reason why I do what I do. It's just uncontrollable. That wasn't the case with Poe. If you ask Poe, why did you kill this person? Why did you? He said, well, this person did this, this next person did this, and he gave you into what in his mind were logical reasons for taking someone's life. But the thing is this: Alpo lived by a certain set of rules in the street. He lived by a certain set of rules. Maybe he made those rules up in his head. I don't know. But I know if you cross those rules, then he was coming to take care of business. Do I think he was a serial killer and he killed because he enjoyed killing?
Let me ask you
Nah.
something. Let me ask you something, right? In
Mhm.
between his murders, how much time passed? Do you know that?
No, I'm not sure. No.
Okay, I do. And there's what you call a cooling down time for a killer, right?
Okay.
Serial killer. By
Mhm.
definition, it says a person, right, who commits
Mm-hmm.
a series of murders, often with no apparent motive, like you said, right?
Mhm.
And often typically following a characteristic behavioral, predictable behavior pattern, right? Meaning
Mhm.
that you're finding a reason every time, the same kind of pattern of reason of why. What I'm saying is that he is a textbook serial killer by
Wow.
definition. You want to know why? Because a person that commits more than 3 murders that finds the exact same reason of why he killed the person. See, a person that's telling you that they like they like to see the blood and all that shit.
Mhm.
That's a thrill killer. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A serial killer is one that does a repeated action and has the same fucking explanation for why he's killing. And it's called a cooling down time period. Look at the times between where he killed the people that he killed. There was a cooling down time. There was a month that passed. You know what I'm saying? That was a
Mhm.
short period of time that all of that shit happened, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How old was Alpo when he went to jail?
That's let me see. He's 5 years older than me, so he got caught in the '90s. I have no idea. He's in his 20s. He had to be in his 20s. About he's 6 years older than me. I would say he was in his 20s, mid 20s. I'm not
Okay,
sure,
let's
but
look at it. Let's look at it.
Mm.
Okay, it says, how long ago was Alpo locked up? When did Alpo get locked up?
And then you got to remember, brother Macmean, they were in the game, bro. They were in the game.
I was in the game too. I'm telling
It
you,
was
like,
it was all drug related. It wasn't about I'm gonna kill this MFer and then the next month I go. He killed people because of the game, the
okay,
disrespect. You know what I mean?
92 early 20s. He was
Yeah.
25 in 90
Okay.
and 91. I was
Mhm.
locked up in 91. I got locked up in 91.
Mhm.
I came home in 2002. So it's safe to say I was in the game the exact same time this nigga was in the game. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I heard all the stories. I've been downtown 145th after robbing a bunch of niggas, going to Willie's Burgers and seeing these niggas out there, seeing Poe and them niggas all up on 8th, burning shit up, crashing shit. I used to
Mhm.
do that shit every weekend. My mother's best friend lived over there. Her name was Renee. So I watched
Wow.
all that shit. I'll be on 8th Avenue watching the Rucker, you know what I'm saying? And all that.
Mhm.
I seen all this. She lived on Convent. You know what I mean? To overlook all that shit. So we used to walk over there on Convent, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Down and look down in the park and Jackie Robinson Park, and they'll be flying through that bitch, you know what I'm saying? With
Mhm.
rifles and shit like that. Giving niggas
Mhm.
money. If you go up in the store, you see a nigga, you ask a nigga for a couple dollars, nigga give you $20 bill, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I remember the game. I remember the days, but niggas wasn't like that. Not everybody was like that. You had some niggas that was out here that was like you know what I'm saying, that put that time in, that work in, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
in that murder game. But it wasn't a common thing for a nigga to just be knocking everything down like that and
Yeah.
finding a reason, especially 25 years old. Come on.
Yeah, but he was, what it was, he was going for it, man. You gotta remember when them guys started, him and Rand Love, right? These dudes were committing murders before they got big, but for what? They chasing the bag, bro.
Cooling
They,
down period. Remember that. The cooling down period. The pattern.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? The pattern. You feel me? And that's what the shit that we know
mm,
from what I. Oh man, I don't even want to say what I heard. But I'm just
I know. I
saying,
heard some things too. I heard some extracurricular things as well. That's off
crazy,
record. I did hear that, but again, like I said,
sloppy
they
back then. They were
yeah
real
they told they this is up in the air. Nobody can prove it, so I always keep it in the back of my mind, and I just go with what we know. But again, my bottom line for me, my little limited research that I have done, when it comes to Alpo, I think that the man, I do not believe he was a serial killer. I think that Alpo had his own set of laws. I think his young youth being messed up in the family, they ain't got no real money, living on that east side of Harlem, which was tore up back in the days. You see the photos of him when he's a kid, and he got a photo of him being arrested. He's got nappy hair and this little dirty gray fleece on, and he looks roughy and scuffy. This is where he came from, bro. This dude came up in poverty, him and his family. So when he got a taste of that money, what that meant to Alpo was that ain't nobody taking this from me. And if anybody get in my way, I'm knocking them down. I'm not going back to my home with my stomach touching my back and seeing my mother suffer and struggle to try and feed me and my sister. So when Poe got that money, he said, man, listen, anything get in my way, I'm knocking it down. And look at the influences that he had. Now he running with a guy named Randy Love, who's ruthless, come up the same way. These dudes is not having it.
I remember
what I
Love.
mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what I think the bulk of the problem was, is that he came out of poverty and he got it was like going from 0 to 1,000 real quick. You go from yesterday, holes in your sneakers, eating jelly sandwiches or whatever at night, worrying about your next meal, and then you find something that takes you to instant wealth. And you just a kid come out of the east side of Harlem. You know what I mean? You had to do certain things to get that way. But I think that's really the explanation to why he developed the way he did. I'm getting this money. I'm not going back to poverty, no matter what. I'm getting it. I'm not going back. I'm out here having fun. Any dude get in my way, I'm knocking him down. That's what I believe.
Let me just say something. How Willie's black went back in the days. We used to come from the Bronx. We used to be up there robbing niggas. You know what I mean? Selling our little weed, heroin. Like I started my first drug that I was selling was heroin. You know what I'm saying? On 182nd and Crescent. And we used to get all this money, and we used to rent these limos. You know what I mean, on the weekend, and we go down to 145th Street, go hit Blimpies, go hit Willie's Burgers. You know what I'm saying? If Willie's Burgers was too crowded, we go up and pile up in Blimpies. Like the young boys, that's what we used to go to, Blimpies. You know what I'm saying? But Willie's Burgers was right next, like the next block down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the shit you see, like that paid in full. Seeing when it first comes on.
Yeah,
Willie's. That's how it used to look. It looked exactly like that.
yeah, I know. I've been up to Harlem back in them days. I just didn't know where the hell I was going, what I was doing. I didn't pay attention to nothing, but I was definitely on 125 in the 80s and 90s, seeing all that action up there.
Yeah, I'm talking about
definitely.
like uptown. It was crazy, man. Like you went uptown, and the way they hustled, it was crazy because like you would see niggas in the Bronx selling $10 bottles of crack, right? And then you seen niggas in Harlem selling $5 bottles of crack. You like, oh, them niggas ain't getting no money. They selling that shit for half the price. You know what I mean? Didn't even understand it. Then when we went down and we started selling $5 bags, Harlem popped out with the tray bottles. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you getting money? Harlem niggas always was ahead of the hustle. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely.
It was different. It was different. And they was younger when they came out the house. I mean, we was young when we came out the house too, but they seen that money up close and personal from way back in the 50s, 40s.
Right.
And it always was consistent with us. It came and went with different eras because the Fed came and swept shit up in the Bronx heavier. You know
yeah, for some reason, Harlem was just always the mecca of that money, man. Them boys know how to get out there and get that money. I met a lot of people from Harlem in the streets. And I used to be a Washington Square chess player. I get a table and sit out there, and I watch them guys. They hustle. You know what I mean? And I remember, man, just listening to them. They got all these calculations and numbers. They know everything. Like before, they don't got to add up nothing. They just know things. You know what I mean? Like dude was like 2020s is $400 and this and that. The calculations that these guys got are incredible. These Harlem hustlers are like no other hustlers that I've ever seen.
I'm gonna tell you, there was more rich niggas in the Bronx than in Harlem. I'm gonna keep it
yeah?
Hell yeah, man. Boy George, them niggas had way more money than Alpo and all them niggas. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about niggas on 182nd and Creston was making millions of dollars in a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Calderon, Cheeky, you know what I'm saying? Tony Montana. I'm talking about Will, You know what I mean? Like from Stratford Avenue, Watson, and all that. You know what I mean? Them niggas was getting millions.
Yo, that's what Poe said. He said, "I ain't gonna front about Boy George. He was getting $1. He was definitely getting $1. There's no doubt."
Boy
Yeah,
George had
so
fucking cars with smoke screens and oil slicks and shit. Nigga had a pool with the word obsession for his dope stand.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was some Bronx niggas. When I was getting money, when I was getting dope money on Creston, there was niggas that was pulling up in candy, red Benzes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about kids that went to school with me, throwing them shit away. Like, you know what I mean? The same way you say Rich and them used to crash shit up and just leave it there. That was same. We seen the exact same thing, if not on a bigger scale.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just quiet money. The Bronx always been quiet pockets of getting money. You know what I'm saying? But the dope game was crazy in the 80s. And those were my first cases selling heroin.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I had 3 drug cases fucking around on Creston. I never got caught nowhere else selling drugs except for Creston. And they did this thing. They had some shit called TNT back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah, I remember them.
Like, Agua, Mahando. What? Block cleared out. Like 4 o'clock, the block was dead. I'm talking about when schools letting out. If you got out there selling drugs, niggas will lose you out there. Stick up kids, niggas was getting hunted down. Mahando, Agua.
Oh, that was the call for the police.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, man. He's like the Bronx and Harlem. They known for getting money. Like somebody put in the comments here, Queens was getting money. I know Preem Team. That's right, like a stone's throw from where I was living in Jamaica.
And Harlem, they used to say Teddy. They used to be like, Teddy. You know what I'm saying? And some places in the Bronx, like on Hunts Point, they used to say Teddy. You know what I'm saying? And Hunts Point was clicking too, man. There was a lot, 182nd. It was a lot of money. 183rd, John Rumble, little brother Tech, boys with Ring, Yo Ish back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Tech. That's Greg. That's my. Yeah, I know who he is. He from my hood. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know.
No doubt, man. No doubt. There's a lot of people in the game, man. A lot of dudes was getting a lot of money back then. That's when that was that golden era. That was when I remember guys, man, getting caught with damn near G packs and getting let out the same night on their own recognizances, ROR.
Man, I used to get locked up with bundles of dope and go home.
You see? So that was a golden era. That was a golden era.
When you tell niggas that right now, they don't understand that era. They don't understand that I got caught with 36 bundles of dope. You know what I'm saying? Today, if you get caught with 36 bundles of dope, you're getting a fair charge.
Yep.
Back then, them niggas might have take your pack and let you keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of times where I went in and came right out. It wasn't until I started doing robberies that I started getting time. You know what I'm saying? Once I start robbing niggas, because they kicked me off the block for robbing a nigga. You feel me? So then that was my career. I just started robbing everybody. Fuck it. Instead of trying to sell drugs, I'm robbing the drug dealers.
Yeah, you see the drugs back then, the police wasn't nowhere near the way they are now, especially with crack, because they didn't know how to add a statute to it. They didn't know, what kind of time we gonna give these dudes. They hadn't figured that out yet, and that lasted from 1985 to about the 1990, 91, 92, when they really begin to put like some legal statute about how much time they can give you for getting caught with a certain amount. I know guys got caught with plenty of crack, man. When in some places the police just took it. And they go into the central bookings and they come home the same day or the next day. Got caught with plenty of crack. But, that was a part of the government plan, too. They wanted that stuff to get situated in our neighborhood. And then they start putting time to it so they can keep you going in the jailhouse. That's basically what happened with that. But that was the golden era, man. That was the golden era. No doubt about it.
Hey, yeah, it was. And what's so weird is that, like, you try to explain some of these things today. It's like urban mythology, like urban myth. Like, don't it feel, right? Like when you're trying to explain certain things to people, don't it feel like you like in a time zone? It's almost like like this doesn't even feel like the same air we used to breathe.
Right. Exactly. I used to tell these kids, man, not too long ago. I used to say, I know dudes got caught with G packs of crack, man, and came home the same night. Get out of here. You lying. I said, bro, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, not what I think, what I know, what I witnessed with my own eyes. I had a good friend. They caught him on the corner store with that much stuff. He went into the system, came home the next day, bro. Came home the next day. And then all you have to do is remember anybody from the 90s, you remember Giuliani, and then they talking about, well, if you get caught with 3 cracks, you're going to get this amount of years. You get caught with 5, you're going up north, you're going to get this amount of years. It wasn't even double numbers. They said if you get caught with 2 or 3 of them, that's enough for a felony, and you go up north. Prior to that, from 85 all the way up until then, it was free fall. It was free fall. You remember they had lines, man. They had lines that stretched a mile away and around the corner.
Cops would be driving right past the line,
That-
wouldn't say shit.
Wouldn't say nothing. Wouldn't say nothing. Know what's going on. Wouldn't say nothing.
They
All
said
that money was being made right there.
50-50 illusions. I used to fuck with the let me see, 2020s. Yeah, we used to be on the 2020s. Man, wow. I don't even want to talk about that shit. That shit was. I remember the first cracks that I sold, man, and I felt like a complete loser after selling that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like dope, that dope money was so crazy, man. That shit was addictive. It was like guaranteed. It was like as soon as you came out the house, you knew all you had to do was say what type of money you want to make. You know what I mean? Go make that motherfucker. That's how you know what I mean. My boy Eric was from Harlem, so we would be stuck in the Bronx. It wasn't until we started getting money when I was like 15 years old where we started like renting limos and shit like that. Like I said, and then hitting different places like going to Coney Island. But on the weekend, it was 145th, bro. It was 145th. It was different over there. It was just big. And then to see so many black people, you know what I mean? Like I'm from the Bronx. We seen like Cambodians and Spanish people, and you know what I mean. It's mixed. It's real mixed where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Up on Fordham, 183rd.
Yeah, I used to live over there. I used to live on Intervale too. I used to live on, but I live on Raya, 183rd and Raya. That's where I was at.
School right there. I went to school right there, 183rd. The Raya, the very next block. Matter of fact, my school was right there on Raya.
Okay.
Between Raya and Valentine on PS9. Right where the basketball court is at, right there.
Yes, yeah. I lived in the 3 buildings down from that basketball court. I walk outside and it's right there.
That was the worst block in America. That was the Chingalings block.
No, I lived there in let me see. Because actually we was in the shelter. Me and my wife was in the shelter. They put us there. We left that place. Let me see. What year was this? 2017, 2018. Yeah. I lived there from 2015 to about 2018. We stayed there.
That shit was Gun City.
I heard it was still Gun City. We was up there. You know how many times we've been up on Fordham? One time we had to hide in the daggone store, man. Shootouts every other day, man.
Yeah, it go down. Yeah. And that was a heavy dope block too. So you had that block right there. You had Raya. It was less traffic than we went over there to Raya to hustle when the block was hot on Crescent and 182nd. We went over there to Raya or we go down to we'll go to Aqueduct Park. You know what I'm saying? Aqueduct Park on 183rd. That's on my side. You know what I'm saying? Like we go over there try to sling our little shit. But back then, man, I'm telling you, man, it was just as many niggas that was getting bread in the Bronx. I mean, like when I went to Harlem, the only thing that was really amazing to me was that there was a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Seen so many black people. You know what I mean? Black stores and shit like that. So that was the big part for me.
I understand that because I used to go on Fordham back in the days in the 90s in the Mecca of hip hop. And me and my man from Rockaway, every Sunday we used to go up there and buy clothes. I was like, yo, man, we might go up there. Hopefully Fat Joe be up there or something, man, knocking over their tables, the guys with the bootleg stuff, knocking their tables over. But I remember one thing when I used to go up there, bunch of Puerto Ricans up there getting buku dollars, man. And all the stores that were up there then were owned mostly by Puerto Ricans, young Puerto Ricans kids. They got fucking, clothes stores selling mixtape. Every other store was a mixtape. And right around the corner, you had their lot, and they was getting crack money like just clockwork. I remember that. I used to go there every weekend, every single. But now everything changed now. It's a whole different dynamic up there now. You know what I mean?
But y'all go ahead and hit that thing. I don't know what y'all been doing. Maybe you've been hitting it. I don't know. But I ain't been checking it. I've been enjoying this conversation. Let them know your podcast, man.
Yes, sir. So you know me, I'm the Hero Fun Podcast. I don't know. If I'll spell it, I'll probably put it in the private chat. Anybody want to check me out, man?
I think I got it in there. I think I'm throw it up. It should be in here.
Yeah.
I be pushing it when you're not here sometimes.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it, bro. I just put out a video. Did you see it today?
No, I didn't see it. I've been
Okay.
working. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in and out this motherfucking house all day.
Okay, I put you in it. You in there. You, Hassan Campbell. Who's the other guy? China Brim. It was just a message that I put to you guys coming from Islam. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
It's a decent video, man. I just saw a lot of things happening, especially with Hassan Campbell going at Big U and all these different things, that West Coast, East Coast thing again. So I just try to remind the Muslims. I was talking to the Muslims, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Remember, let's not try to bicker too much to get the point where it gets heated. And, there's some damage that can happen. Somebody can get hurt or what have you. So that's all I was just trying to say. And I'll quote a verse from the Quran, that God told us when it comes to, each other and having hatred for one another. But we human beings, we're going to go through our stuff. We're going to argue, going to fight, going to do everything. But, we should remember to have restraint, So you can check it out when you, whenever you get.
I need to hear that, man. We got time. We could go look at it. But let me just let y'all see this 58-second clip of Wags Dog. We caught this. I caught this. This is Wags Dog and Bullets Gotti. This is what happened when Wags Dog caught up to him.
Oh shit. Yo, who that?
Yeah, what up, big bird ass nigga? Ain't think I was gonna catch up to you, huh?
Hey yo, man, come on, man. Yo, chill.
Talk that shit now.
Hey yo, man, please, man, that wasn't me, man. Come on, son. Please, that was House popping all that shit, man.
Yeah, see?
What? Bullets Gotti. I feel sorry for the little guy, man. I kind of like him, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I like him, man. He's all right. He's just a kid, man. It's just a kid going through it. It is what it is.
He's trying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna make it though.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It is what it is, my brother.
That motherfucker out of here. Okay, we're gonna play this. We're gonna let it run. We got a couple minutes.
Mm.
We're gonna play a little bit of it. I just want to show them the podcast so they can go subscribe and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check it out on my own.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, no doubt. Appreciate it, my brother. Yeah, that's it right there.
Peace. Peace, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Steve once again from the Hierophant Podcast. I'd like to take this time to ask all of my brothers and sisters who see this video, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button. That's called the like. And share the video if you will. So as you've seen from the title, this video is going out to China Brim, Hassan Campbell, Big U, okay? Macmean, you can put him in there too. I have to say peace and salam to all you good brothers. Eid Mubarak, right? Now, let me not jump off on the wrong foot with you guys. I'm no spiritual, no great Muslim, right? I don't follow the laws completely 100%. I'm probably the worst one out of everybody, admittedly so, right? But I just want to say something to you brothers because I see something going on here, right? That probably has the potential to go left really, really quick, right? We got a lot of beef going back and forth. This guys against these guys. We got the West Coast out there. A lot of beef and riffraff. I don't usually get into all that stuff. This is not my lane, and it still isn't. But as someone who believes in God Almighty and in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and in the Holy Book, like again I said, I'm not a great Muslim. My Lord is merciful. I know that. But I'm not a great Muslim. I just feel compelled to say this, right? I'm talking to the Muslims now. That's why I mentioned the people I mentioned in the beginning. I'm talking to the Muslims.
Hey, Payne, he right there. I told him that he looks like my Uncle Joe.
First and foremost, before I'm talking to anybody else. That means China Brim, Big U, Hassan Campbell, macmean. I'm talking to you guys. And the reason why I'm talking to you guys is this. That little beef is beginning to stir with Brother Hassan Campbell, Big U, and then we got China Brim, all of them in there. These things cause tensions and hatreds. Words have been spoken already that could ignite a fire, right? Confrontations could happen, people could get hurt, or worse. Now the Muslims, again, I'm talking to you Muslims, those who say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? I'm talking to you who believe in Allah, in the last day, in the Almighty, right? Who believe in the angels, who believe in the prophets, who believe in the books, right? Who believe in Yawmul Qiyamah, who believe in predestiny, all of that. This message is for you if you've said La ilaha illallah. Because of the nature of beef, right? The nature of beef. And we know that in the past, this West Coast, East Coast thing has led to people losing their lives, right? People were murdered on the West Coast and on the East Coast. You had Biggie and Tupac. Then the West and the East were about to go at it again with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre kicking down the buildings, all those type of things, Mobb Deep and different people. Thank God it didn't go anywhere. But what I'm trying to say to you, brothers and sisters, is this: for the Muslims among you, whenever you speak such words, right? And Hassan Campbell is right about this. This is the basis and the essence of the Muslim prayer. When you speak words, right? You say something you desire to happen to somebody else, whether they're good or bad, the first thing those words do is they come out of your mouth as a vibration, an energy, and they go up. They go up into the samawat. Some people call that the astral light, astral plane, whatever you want to call it. It goes up there, and it takes the shape. It begins to take the shape of what you said, and it's sent back down here on this earth. And it manifests itself. Whatever you say manifests itself. It makes itself happen, right? So if you wish the ill wish on somebody else, and if there's enough power in that wish, the evil forces out there will make sure that that wish is manifested. Example: I hate this MF over here. Yo, I'm telling you, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna do this. We're gonna slide him. We're gonna do all of this. And you imagining what that would be like in your mind. Right? When you put those words out into the atmosphere, assisted with evil forces, those words take shape in the samawat or in the astral plane, and they come back down here on this earth and they manifest. Right? That's cool. That could be the basis of prayer. It could be the basis of magic, whatever you want to call it. But for the Muslims among you, China Brim, Hassan Campbell, Big U, there's another reason why you should be concerned now about all this beef, Muslims beefing with one another. Because if you believe in the Quran and you have said La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, peace be upon him, and I got news for you if you didn't know it already. I got some news for you. And that's in the verse of this Quran, right here. Right here. And that comes in Surah number 4. An-Nisa, the woman.
The
women. Surah An-Nisa. This is Surah number 4, verse 92-93. The first thing I'm going to read is verse 92. Just a little bit of the first verse. It says, after Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it says, it is not for a believer to kill a believer. Right? It is not for a believer to kill a believer except by mistake. And we are believers, right? That's why we put our finger up when we took Shahada, said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That makes us believers, right? It is not for a believer to kill a believer except by mistake. Now let's jump down to verse 93. And here's the one you need to watch.
And the two Muslims fight against each other. Doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. They both go to hell.
And whoever kills a believer intentionally, he's talking to us now, Muslims. And whoever kills a believer intentionally, his recompense is Jahannam, hell, to abide therein. And the wrath and the curse of Allah are upon him, and a great punishment is prepared for him. See that? Whoever kills a believer intentionally, then hell, Jahannam, is his abode. This is where you'll be. This is where you'll live. You'll be in Jahannam. That's hell. And the wrath and the curse of Allah himself will be upon you, and he has prepared a great punishment for you. Brothers and sisters, you kill a Muslim, and this is your Muslim brother, and you intentionally kill him. You're going to go to hell, and you're never going to get out of there. That's just the way this thing goes. Now, how does this verse apply? We know that if you pick up a gun or a knife and you shoot and stab your Muslim brother, you know he's a Muslim, you hate him that much and he dies, that verse applies to you automatically. It means when you close your eyes, you're out of here. You're going express into the hellfire, right? But also we should be concerned, brothers and sisters, and I'm talking back to my Muslim brothers, China Brim, Hassan Campbell, Big U. Remember I started with those words that go up into the samawat and they come back down? So you could be talking, F Dyson and F this one. Yo, we see y'all is on. We the movement, and ain't nothing else happening. When we catch y'all, is gonna do this. Now those words of yours, when they come back down here and they manifest, those words could cause some people to galvanize and to become motivated and make moves on behalf of what you said. And get one of those brothers killed, right? Those words have the power to do that. Now, you're not behind the trigger. You didn't stab the knife. But your words, your wishes went up into the samawat and they came back down here and they manifested themselves. And they went, those evil agents that assisted your words went into the hearts and ears of some dude and he became motivated to go pull a move based on what you said. Brothers and sisters, I tell you this.
Now I want to give him a reason to go watch the rest, but overstood, brother. I need to hear that, brother. I needed that right there. I need to hear that.
Yeah, that's peace, brother. Because I know a lot of people. I'll be looking and I say, well, these guys are Muslims, but I don't think a lot of people know about that verse, man. Because they say the only sin you can't be forgiven for is taking your life. That's true, but also if you kill a Muslim intentionally, God says the doors of heaven are closed to you. You can't. You'll be in heaven. You'll be in hell forever. So I just put that out there as a warning to remember, brothers, man. Let's just put some settle on the fire, because even if you say something and you didn't do it yourself, but somebody else heard you and they mess with you, that's my man. I'm gonna do this. Just wilding out on the day of Yom Kippur. You're gonna share some of that death. You're gonna have to answer to God for that. You know what I mean? So as Muslims, we got to be careful what we say. We're not the best Muslims in the world by far. You know what I mean? But we want to look out for our hereafter as best we can. You know what I mean? So that's just why I threw that out there.
So, if you ain't subscribed yet, y'all can just leave right now. Make his subs go up real quick, man. This is my brother Steve. I didn't know he was Muslim to now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I need to hear that. You need to hear that. You need to hear that. And that puts a I'm one of those cats that like to, take what's good out of what you're saying and try to apply it now. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. No doubt. And don't see me as an ambassador for good, because I got my problems, bro. I'm not a good Muslim at all, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, still sharp and still. I need to hear it because you need a reminder of the hellfire.
Yes, indeed. We all do, brother. We all praying for God to give us mercy on that day, bro. That's all we can pray for, is for him to forgive us. We ain't going to be perfect. We're always going to be sinners. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. That's why I don't push Islam on nobody. I don't judge nobody. But on a situation like this,
most of the brothers, when they do speak to me, they have the same. Because I be feeling more guilty than what the brothers will allow me to feel. It's more like, it's like if I'm feeling guilty about something, brothers will be like, just sharpen your message up and don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if we was in behind the wall or something, or we was a part of a community, you know, we got our ways of handling our own issues. You know what I'm saying? Especially ironing them out. I think the most offensive part I found with Old Boy is when you know, like I feel like when you offer peace, that the Muslim is automatically just going to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what we want. That's what Islam stands for.
That's what it is. The peace. That's the name of the religion. The peace. We love peace. We are people of peace. You know what I mean? It ain't until, you know, some people mess with us that we react. You know, we love everybody, man. You know.
I'm gonna share that with Hassan, man. I'm gonna share that with Big U.
Okay, no doubt, my brother.
And
yes, sir.
China, because you know, me and China, we talk. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it is with brother, and when I do speak to him behind the scenes, you get a whole completely different version of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I spoke to him a couple of times. Yeah, no doubt.
And I was about Old Boy too, like the rest of them. Like I feel like we could go a little bit too far because we all separated in our own way. We all our own bosses anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
no doubt.
I need to hear that. I'm gonna push that forward, man. I'm about to get down.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
now, look,
it, my bro.
Hit my IG at the real macmean. You know what I'm saying? I'll send you my number and I can kick some shit to you. Okay?
You want me to give you my number?
Yeah, just get on my IG and say it. Don't put it out here.
Okay, I got you.
At the real macmean. As soon as you hit me, I'm gonna answer it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes.
Okay.
But that's the brother Steve, you know what I'm saying? His podcast. I'm gonna bring you down now.
Okay, brother. All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Salute. Right. Assalamu alaikum, brother. My bad. I got you down so fast. But at the real macmean, that's everybody. I need to hear that message from the brother Steve. He always pulls up and we be roasting him and stuff like that. Didn't realize it that he got a whole motherfucking that white hair comes with some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it is what it is. Duck, duck, deuce. I see you, boo boo. You know what I'm saying? PJ Mass always killing the motherfucking chat. You know what I'm saying? Reason to tell everybody on Murray Street when we play basketball, no blood, no foul. They say, what do you mean? No blood, no foul. Right? Court right across Clyde knockout would have been have to find a replacement. I used to play ball down there. Anyway, I'm out of here, man.